But no, I've done a couple others. I started doing these a couple of years ago, and I was like, okay, these are pretty cool. There's some interesting folk out there. But it's awesome. I love doing it.
Other questions? What we got here? Oh, we got. Let's go up in front here. Oh, just move in. Yes.
Hi. What is your? I have two questions.
Yep.
One is, what is your favorite experience from Napoleon Dynamite?
My favorite experience from Napoleon Dynamite. I mean, the whole movie itself was quite an experience. I mean, it was my first film. I loved doing it. It was kind of an adventure. I wasn't doing it with the thought, all right, I got to further my career. I had no career. It was it was my first film, and I just did it because, like, you don't say no to doing something like that. Oh, sweet, that's for me, I think.
Dance.
That wasn't the song.
Okay.
But favorite experience of Napoleon. I don't know if there was a single. I loved shooting literally every sequence. My least favorite. Everything was awesome. My least favorite was running in that brown wool suit out in the middle of nowhere where I'm just sweating bullets. That was a little bit uncomfortable. So was like the chicken farm. That was not like doing it. I was like, this is great. This is gonna look great. These freaking chickens smell like crud, like a weird, otherworldly crud. Bird. You guys have been in aviary like places at zoos. Bird poop is the weirdest. Yeah, that was my least favorite. But yeah, my favorite. I loved doing everything at this. Shooting anything in the school was really kind of cool because it was just like I'm a very nostalgic guy. I love revisiting all my old stomping grounds whenever I go back home, and going and shooting in a high school was just fun. It felt like being a kid again.
All right, another question?
I did a sketch just a few minutes ago about, the nostalgia critic asking Napoleon Dynamite, going like, so, what's your favorite moment from Napoleon Dynamite? And then he goes, everything gone.
That's actually kind of true, yeah.
I was thinking like maybe you could do like a short video. It'll be like quick and stuff.
I don't have time for a short video.
It'll be like a 5-minute thing.
5 minutes. Oh my gosh. Come to my table. We'll work it out. Afterwards, if you come to my booth, we'll see if we can work it out.
And everybody, just so I make it clear, after this, he is going back to his booth, so if you don't get a question answered or anything, you can definitely go see him.
I just made that abundantly clear.
You don't say that!
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay.
He's so pissed at me.
Hey, John, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
I was just wondering, I know it's a unique question, but do you have any props from any of your films that you kept? Your glasses from Napoleon Dynamite, shirt. Have you ever thought about having a hairstyle with Napoleon head, wearing that out there? It's a pretty kicking style. So.
Kinky, you said?
Kicking.
Oh, kicking.
I mean, kicking. No,
It's almost the same syllable. I mean, words and letters. You just have to swap it around. Kicking, kinky. No, I kept a few of the things. Do you remember the Pegasus crossing sign in his bedroom?
Yeah.
That's in my daughter's bedroom. There was the wolf, there's the unicorn poster and the wolf poster. Pretty much anything hanging in his room, I got to keep some of that stuff. All the really cool stuff, I was really bummed I wanted that time machine. I don't have that. And you'd think it'd be awesome to have those moon boots, which I have, which smell so bad. They were like destroyed by the end. It's like, I'm not gonna go wear this for fun. This is disgusting. And what else do I have? I had, I think I had the glasses. I'm not sure, but those might have gotten switched up. But I have some of the clothes, yeah. I didn't get the brown suit, but I got the hammer pants with the pocket. That was pretty cool.
They're still
with the tater tot pocket. Built for tater tots.
And my other question is, you still talk to co-star
Pedro? Efrain Ramirez? I talk to him every now and then. He'll send me texts during the holidays and I'll promptly ignore them. And then I'll get back to him like 3 weeks later. It's like, dude, so sorry for missing your text. You're the best. You're awesome. You guys have forgotten this before, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, Efren's great. I see him every now and he's kind of one of those guys who just pops up all over Hollywood. Like, oh, and he's got a twin brother too, an identical twin brother, and I have an identical twin brother. So that's a little trivia a lot of people know.
I have a question. How do we know you're not the twin brother?
Yeah.
Well, anyways.
I saw that coming. Yeah.
We just switched behind the curtains. You can see it.
Other question, yes.
Super quick.
Hi, also identical twin. Jared Hess.
Wait, you're an identical twin too?
Yes, I am.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot here.
Yeah. Jared Hess is one of the most unique and creative directors I've ever seen in film. What is it like working, or was it like working for him?
Oh, it was great. I mean, Jared, being on his first film, and I knew him in school, so we went to, I mean, that's kind of how this all came about. A lot of people ask, like, how was the audition process? There really wasn't an audition. We were both at film school in the same class, and we kind of knew each other enough, but we weren't super chummy, but I had acted very, maybe in one student project right before that, just a little blip, and he, I think it was just more how I acted around friends and in class and just acting goofy. He goes, hey John, I think, this would be good for you. And I remember thinking, oh dude, this guy is talented. He's funny, he's got a very unique sense of humor. He's got a handle on his characters, and he's very much about like grabbing what's real and what's raw. So I knew this guy had promise, and so when he came to me, I was like, oh yeah, no, let's check this out. I read the script, and this is for the short film that we shot back in 2001 called Peluca, and that's the same character, and so we did that, and then it was 2 years later that he was like, all right, I think we're gonna shoot a feature of this. I was like, yeah, I'm on board. But so it was very easy because there wasn't a lot of workshopping involved. He gave me a script, I read it, I was like, yeah, I know exactly who this guy is. All he had was just some little bit of dialogue, but together we went to a thrift store. That's where the character really, I think, got fleshed out, was when we were looking for his clothes. We were like, oh yeah, sweet, this is a dragon t-shirt, he'd wear that. And then when we got on the moon boots, and Jared's wife suggested getting a perm, so in answer to your question about the kinky curls, I paused for a second because I was a single college student. I was like, a perm. That's permanent, right? That's short for permanent. And I honestly, for a split second, thought, ooh, that's gonna look really ugly, and like, girls are gonna think I'm butt Uggs, and it's already so hard to get girls. But that whole conversation was like half a second in my mind. I was like, wait, what am I thinking? Yes, of course, this would be sweet. I was so excited to bring this character to life. I was like, we have to do it. This is our American duty to bring this guy to the screen, even if it's only, screened at family reunions and never seen for the world. I think I answered your question. Okay. I started to derail a little bit.
Other question, yes.
I asked you this earlier today. Has there ever been talks of a sequel to Napoleon?
You said you asked me that already? Did I not answer it sufficiently?
I was not satisfied.
He wants everybody to hear the lame excuse I have. No, there was talks in the very, very beginning. But I guess when I say talks, it was like, there was never like we sat down as a group and all talked about it. It was like I think this Fox studio kind of went through my agents saying, hey, if they ever did, would you do this and that? And I was like, well, hey, as long as Jared is involved, he created this world, he created these characters, it wouldn't be right to do without. So, I'll just kind of like go with that lead. And Jared got busy, and everybody else got busy, and we just never really thought about it when we were making the movie. Like, we were thinking, oh, is this franchise? I mean, we had no idea what was going to happen. So it's kind of one of those things. If we never do, I'll be happy because we're keeping the integrity of the film. But if we do make it, and everybody's involved, I'll be happy because it was so fun to do the first time, and it'll get all you guys off my back because I'm so sick of it would be awesome to make one. But yeah, there's no making of it right now. Who knows?
All right, another question.
I told someone today, give it, let's see, we're 12 years in, so maybe 8 more years. If it's not made for the 20-year anniversary, if it's not done by then, give up hope. I mean, they did that with Dumb and Dumber, right? So, right? They did that 20 years later, and I guess it worked. It made like 500,000 in the theater. It sounds like a lot, but it's not children. Yeah. It's not.
Yes, Captain.
Okay, something I've been trying to figure out. When exactly does Napoleon Dynamite take place? 'Cause there's a real 80s feel to it. And actually, the second question, do you have a dance background? Because you had some pretty rad moves. 'Cause it seems like everybody in Hollywood just knows how to dance. Because I can't, for crap.
No, you actually have it in you. You just need to release the phoenix.
No, the liger.
Release the liger. I'm sorry, that was another one. What was the first part? The what?
Well, what year did it?
Oh, what year? Yes, sorry. Okay, so yeah, it was modern day. It was, 2003 when we shot it. So yeah, we get that question, and I was like, well, the point was, we wanted it to be modern, like it's now, but if you go to a small town, and for those who have ever spent time or had family or grew up in a really small town, it's like it's its own time capsule. Time kind of stops. It's a mixture of different periods and different eras because it's not completely up to date. And nowadays it's a little bit hard because with the internet and with everything, it's easier to keep a little bit more up to date with YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff. But in 2003, the internet was still, was definitely around, but it was still just, it's a small town and not everybody's up to date on fashion and styles and what's cool and what's then, the local trend and stuff like that. So, yeah, we have the amenities of the 2000s, but people are happy, still riding buses to school and using phones. Nobody had cell phones. So it's supposed to kind of capture that feel. And then, yes, dancing. No, not everybody in Hollywood is good at dancing. Only me. I'm not from Hollywood. I grew up just watching Michael Jackson videos and stuff like that. It was, no dancing background, just dancing by myself in the dark, alone. And just having fun that way. I love it. It's great.
I don't take it. No, when I do.
This kid had a hand up forever, so I'm gonna let you get in here. Go ahead.
In the bench.
Hey, wait. Evan? Is that your name?
No, forever.
Oh, forever. Oh, so stand up real fast. Let people see your outfit. Yeah. Look at him. He's waiting for LaFonda. Has she come yet? Is this like a symbol of your dying lust for... I'm just waiting for my LaFonda. Sweet. I hope it helps you score something big. Maybe not as tall as LaFonda, but whatever.
In the bench warmers, was that a lot of acting, or are you actually just that bad at baseball?
Guys, hold on.
Balls, kid.
That is, I'm sorry, that is the biggest compliment I've ever gotten. I rule at baseball. I kick butt at baseball. That was pure acting. Thank you for bringing that up. I really felt that way, actually when we were doing it, because it's like, yeah, we're supposed to suck, and we're not supposed to be very good. And it was fun. I love physical comedy and like really getting into that kind of stuff. But towards the end of this, film, where we actually get to hit some balls, I was like, thank you. You guys, check it out, watch it, and I would nail every single one. I was pretty proud of myself. That was the least I could do.
Got Deadpool over here.
We got, well, first,
Pink Deadpool.
Hello Kitty, baby.
Oh, Hello Kitty.
First, thanks for coming out. Second, what was your favorite movie to work on and your least favorite movie to work on?
I loved working on pretty much almost all my films. I loved working on Napoleon. I mean, that really was it was fun, but it was just so special knowing that we were kind of part of something that, and again, at the time we didn't know it would, bring me here and bring us anywhere, but we, just for ourselves, we're like, this is awesome, and we're having fun doing it, and fun just, not just offset, goofing around, but having fun knowing that we're making something really cool. I loved doing Benchwarmers. That was a ton of fun. That was like just kind of laid back, and it was a big production, but we didn't have to really do anything. We just had to suck at everything. So we didn't have to train. We didn't have to just like in between shots, we'd be off playing hacky sack with each other and goofing off in great weather. I just shot, last year I shot a movie in New York called Ghost Team. It's a little plug for my movie that's out now on iTunes, called Ghost Team. It was the first kind of horror film I've done, but it's a comedy, and I had the time of my life making that one because it was more, again, doing independent films is a lot of fun because you have freedom from, you're not really listening to any big wigs. They're not controlling you, and because you're forced to be kind of be in more tight quarters with each other because you're on tighter schedules, tighter budget, and so you're kind of forced to bond a little bit closer with the actors and the crew, and it becomes more like a family. So I've really enjoyed all the independent films I've worked on, and the studio films. I don't know if I mean, it's hard to say least favorite. I mean, I've liked them all, so it wouldn't really be, I don't know, what, bad movie. I can't think of it. There's, I did, yeah, I'll think, I'm sure there's something that was,
Oh, well, you're thinking of that one. I saw Wonder Woman with her hand up. Where'd she go?
Oh, hey, Dad.
I can't say no to Wonder Woman. She's gonna kick my ass.
I'm a big fan. Anyway, I'm a big fan of yours too.
Hi, thank you.
I read that somewhere that you're doing a lot of voiceover work, and can you tell me about that? And what is your favorite voice, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot more voiceover work the past couple of years, and it's so much fun. I like, well, right now, you can catch another plug. This is great. Pickle and Peanut, if you haven't heard of it, Disney XD channel. It's awesome. It's about the misadventures of a pickle and a peanut. I like pickle. It sounds stupid, and you watch it, and it is stupid. But it's genius stupid. It's that kind of thing. It's been a while since I've had a project I'm actually this proud of. I love it. I watch it with my family. We have the time of our life. So that's a blast to make. But yeah, I mean, I do. I've done a number of things for Disney and for Netflix and for DreamWorks. I got to be on Core. You got any Core fans or Airbender? Yeah, that was like kind of a dream come true. It was a small role, but I was like, sweet. I just want to hang out with the cast while they record. It's been great. I mean, voiceover is awesome because it's a different game, but at the same time, it's still, you're the actor and you're coming in and you're bringing a character to life, but you get to this is my fancy version of what I wear to work. I get to go in like a big old scoop shirt and sweats, and you just kind of fall into it, and you can really kind of let yourself go because you're not thinking about, okay, I gotta nail this, I gotta look just right, I have to worry about hair and makeup and everything. You don't have to worry about that. So you almost look too ugly.
Do you stand up or do you sit down when you talk when you're doing it?
No, you can sit down sometimes. Anything you want. You can have them see this. See how the microphone's to my level? Does that work? Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyways, it's great. So yeah, I really enjoy doing it. Yeah, so check those out. Have you guys seen Star vs. the Forces of Evil? One girl.
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it. I know what a star is. Yeah, if you get on Disney Channel, a little Cartoon Network, you'll hear my voice every now and then. It's pretty great.
Other questions here. What do we got? Oh, right in front of me, yes.
How you doing?
Hey.
My name's Dante Luna, and I love movies. They're a big part of my life. So I always want to tell you this story, and it's a big question. In high school, I was on a date, and movies is something that means a lot to me. So I went on a date, and I made a big deal about it. And we went to this small independent theater. It's quiet, and I picked Napoleon Dynamite. It was a small time movie, like no one heard of it. I've never even heard the name. I just saw it. I'm just like, Napoleon Dynamite. And he's like, quiet. Let's go. 20 minutes in the movie, I was in love with it. The girl I was with said, Dante, we gotta go. I'm just like, I need to relax, chill, watch this movie. 20 minutes later, she's like, Dante, I'm leaving.
Is this a first date, by the way?
It was the first date with her, yeah. It was the last date.
I never know the end of the story.
No, she says, Dante, I'm leaving. I said, you can leave, I'm staying. She gets up, gets her bag, and walks out the theater, and I stayed in the theater on the date by myself, and I finished the movie. And then a couple months later, Napoleon Dynamite takes off, and then she's in love with it. She's posting about it. I'm like, whoa, wait.
What a
Whoa, so
jerk.
then did you call back for a second date or something?
Nah, man, I checked out.
Well, I guess it was a happy ending.
I loved the movie so much. I thought it was genius. And it was like, I was literally in the theater with like 6 other people. And I was just like, wow.
That makes me feel better.
It didn't have a commercial. It wasn't on the internet. I didn't hear anything about it. I just picked it. But then it caught on. It caught fire. So I guess my question to you is like, there really was a period of time where nobody knew about the film, but it was done completely out there. So what was the journey like from, really being a part of this, knowing you had something, but then getting it before it hit the limelight, before it hit that wave?
I've been talking about this recently. It's a very good story. I'm glad you held to my end of it. And who knows what could have happened if you went out with if you followed her. We might see a wedding ring on or something. I don't know. No, we were. I've been thinking about it a lot recently because even more so in the climate we're in today with like Hollywood and films and internet and really Netflix and so much. It's so easy to have access to like so many films, and a lot of people have talked about, is this the death of cult film? Because Napoleon's kind of considered one of the last true kind of cult films that ever hit like theaters and was able to have that kind of experience because you couldn't, you really think about it, I think it'd be very hard to do Napoleon nowadays. If we had shot it now, then it would, either they would have said, well, just, put it to some festivals, maybe try to get it online, put it on YouTube for a little bit, and some people might have seen it and liked it. Hopefully, the same people. I don't know, maybe it could have gathered the same kind of steam, but I think it definitely got us even bigger recognition with a lot of people out there. In my journeys in Hollywood, I've come across huge names that know about the film. I don't think they would have known about it if it was made today. And it was really something cool and special, and the timing was right. We were lucky. Fox buys it at Sundance in January 2004, and it was that summer they decided to release it. And like you said, nobody knew it was. Nobody knew any of the actors. They put it in like 6 theaters, a couple in LA, a couple in New York, but they were very smart about their marketing, and they got out there and they created a website. This is before Twitter and really Facebook. I think there was MySpace. They might have had a few links on MySpace, but they had a website and people came to it, and I don't know if any of you were there for the original when it came out in theaters besides you, but they threw out, they put up free screenings across the country to try to hey, come back and come and bring your friends each time, and they would give out little grab bags of like props from the film so that people could like throw stuff. They tried to make it like what's it called? The Rocky Horror. Yeah, they really tried to give it. This was a studio, a big time studio, trying to create a cult film, which that normally doesn't happen. But Fox Searchlight, which is kind of a smaller version of Big Fox, they were smart and they knew what they're doing. And then that's when they added. It was a year later that we shot the wedding scene that's at the end because they wanted to give something more to the fans and again try to build that word of mouth. It was really cool to be part of something that nobody had heard of it in June 2004, and it was in theaters till about December 2004. All that way, just constantly, and by that time it was like everybody knew it and like people loved it, and so kind of that whirlwind of almost 4 months. It was crazy. It was awesome to be a part of it. I think that answers.
Other questions? Let's see who we got here.
I'm glad she ended up liking it. That's the one thing I get from so many people that they tell me like, hey man, love your movie. I hated it the first, second time, and I just like, it blows my mind, like, why would you get a movie a second chance that you did not like? I mean, we have so little time on this earth. We've got to cherish those moments and watch something else. And yet, I have so many fans who have, all right, I'll watch it again. And then they end up loving it. So that's what I tell people. Or if I see a crappy movie, I just leave it alone. I don't give it a shot. Sorry.
Here we go.
Hello. I know I'm not the only one like that after seeing either Napoleon Dynamite or Rich Mortgage goes to school and then hears everybody making all these quotes, you know? And obviously you got the obvious ones, but Tina, you know, you could do it better than I can. But do you have any?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I did. But do you have any favorite quotes like from any movie that you've done?
Is Trisha here?
I think,
It's my role. Vote for Pedro. Vote for Pedro.
oh yeah, I love the, in Napoleon, I mean, that's kind of the most quotable, but I love it when he's like, hold on a sec, I forgot to put it in the crystals. That's a pretty good one. Or, say it so the whole world can hear. Yeah, who would have thought that Tina, you fat lard was actually the #1 quote line? Like, that became, it was so specific. I mean, most of the time people quote things because they can relate to so many situations. Gosh, flippin' idiot. Yeah, you can say that, but you gotta know a Tina, she's gotta be fat, and she's gotta be time for dinner. Tina, you fat lark, get some dinner. Just get the food. Freaking animals. I hate working with animals. They're okay sometimes.
Other questions? Let's see. Let's go back here.
That was not acting. Dealing with that llama, I was just like, that was me. That was improv, just me throwing the food. They're like, you're supposed to feed the llama. I'm like, no, get away from me. It's like, no. And I honestly did that. And they're like, they were all laughing. They're like, all right, we'll keep that. I was like, good, because I'm done with her. I'm done with Dolly. That was the name of the actual llama.
Oh, man.
Get it? Dolly llama.
Oh, nice.
Sure, that was.
That's a good one.
It's funny, but she's dead now.
Right.
Yeah, when people ask me how she's doing. Jared's brothers, the director and his brothers were always pissed off because they had to drink the milk from the llama growing up, and they're like, it tastes like hay.
Hi, this is my first panel at a con ever, so I'm glad it's with
Oh,
you.
I hope this. Oh, I'm so sorry. They're all gonna suck in comparison now. You're gonna go to the American Pie reunion, and they're like, so sad. And I'm just kidding. Well, maybe not kidding.
So I have a quick question and then like a more in-depth question. So the quick question is, please tell me you've seen the epic rap battle with Napoleon versus Napoleon.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Just checking.
I had some 12-year-olds show me that.
Well, now I feel really great about asking
I'm
that
enormous,
question.
yeah. And they're sitting there, but they're like hit and repeat on YouTube. Oh, that's great. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's funny. It's good. But they.
Okay, I needed to know that you'd seen it. Some weird part of me. And then my second question is, Blaze of Glory is like the first movie I ever saw multiple times in a theater. Yes. My best friend and I, we hang out like 6 days a week, and we watch that movie over the summer. We watched it like no less than 10 times. That movie,
Exercise, kids. Exercise.
thanks. It looks like it was a really fun movie to make, but it also looks like it was like physically like grueling. I've seen some of like the behind the scenes footage, so you guys look like you were generally enjoying yourselves, but like, was there anything about it that was like physically just like really uncomfortable or like too much?
Yeah, I broke my ankle. Yeah. No, I loved making Blaze. It was so much fun. It was a very different experience going from Napoleon and doing a couple films in between, but then this was really like a big studio film. You had Will Ferrell, you had all these big names, and it was just like, and it was the first movie I ever had to play a character who was actually good at something, and like Olympian level good. So yeah, there was a lot of training involved, and right when we started training for the skating, I broke my ankle doing it. And so we were like, oh shoot, that kind of screws things up. So I was actually, there was a short period where I thought I was going to get booted from the film because they got to move forward. They were awesome. Everybody worked around their schedules, so we shot all the non-skating stuff first, waited a few, and during all that time I just healed. And actually, a lot of the non-skating stuff, I'm wearing a cast, you just can't see. And then we took a little time off until I was fully healed, and then I trained some more. We started training for all the skating stuff, and then we got back on the ice and shot all the skating. So it was kind of split up over a year of shooting, but I'm so glad it worked out. But yeah, I loved ice skating. I couldn't get enough of it. It was like my favorite thing. It was hard work. It was very different, like I said, but anytime we were shooting this stuff, I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. And I started learning waltz jumps. I could do backward crossovers.
Nice.
Yeah. And Will could like stand without falling down. We had a thing, Will kind of, the power, he was the Clydesdale with the comedy, and I was, he was the show pony with the comedy, and I was a Clydesdale, kind of lifting him up comedy-wise. In the skating, I was a show pony doing all the kind of cool stuff, and he was a Clydesdale. I don't know if that's a good analogy. Anyways, but yeah, no, we had a great time because it was just so fun, kind of, just doing the weird, awkward stuff. Doing that first Fire and Ice routine, like, we had the time of our lives, because that was supposed to be the moment where we also are starting to get along and we're doing well, but it also is the first real skating we kind of did in the film, and there's obviously some special effects involved and some stunt work and wire work, but also some real skating involved. And I just remember the very first day I met Will Ferrell at all, because he wasn't signed on originally. It was Ben Stiller who was originally going to play that role, because it was his company who made it. And due to scheduling stuff, and I honestly think he was scared of the ice, but I don't know all the reasons why. I think because of scheduling, mostly, he couldn't do it. So he's like, and I was super bummed, and he told me, he was like, don't worry, we'll get someone good. I had already read the script with him in mind and everything. He's like, yeah, I think we'll get Will Ferrell. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Fine, I'll do the movie. It was harder to picture Will doing all those amazing stunts, but it's movie magic, and we got Will, and yeah, no, we had the time of our lives. It was amazing. Yeah, it sucks breaking the ankle. It really hurts.
Right. Hi. So going off of that last question, Blaze of Glory is probably my favorite movie of yours, and you and Will Ferrell were just like perfect together. as the two characters, and you were so dynamic together. Were there any like really crazy moments? Like working with him, he seems like a pretty, just pretty hysterical guy altogether. I just can't imagine. Do you have any like stories where he was just like, just working with him was just too hilarious, or moments where it was like, just with the script in general, that was just like, this is tough?
To lead into that answer, I realized I started that story without finishing it. The first day I met Will, so like I said, he had only signed on like at the last second. So the first day I met him was the first day of training on the ice. And so I met him literally on the ice, and we both had this look in our eyes, like, I mean, of course I was excited, but there was that kind of look like, hey man, can't believe we're getting into this. Like, this is gonna be crazy, because I think there's a lot of fear in Will's. It was very humbling, and also it leveled the playing ground a little bit, because I was super intimidated and like, oh my gosh, this is Will Ferrell, and like I watched him growing up, and this is crazy. But knowing that he was gonna have as tough, if not tougher of a time learning to ice skate, made me feel a little bit better. But yeah, he was incredible to work with. He was just extremely down to earth and like a gentle guy, and he was like, I always kind of felt like I was the Lucas and he was the Charlie Sheen character, from Lucas, and he was like the cool high school senior, like, who took me in and was just like, hey man, hey, so like introduced me to everybody, and it was great. And there was, yeah, for sure, when we would work, he'd always have like some like kind of backup lines for each. There was always like, okay, here's a joke in the script, but